Welcome to another episode of Engineered for Everywhere Audio, brought to you by Memphis Audio. I'm your host, Mark Sarge Schleifer. Hey man, and on this episode, we're talking V-Twin, we're talking Harley Davidson, we're talking Road Glide, we're talking Street Glide. We've got some killer kits for both those models of Harley Davidson's 2015 and up Road Glide, 2014 and up Street Glide. We've got a killer installation that's gonna go down. We're gonna use our MXAHD14LIDKIT kit, which is gonna be the front kit, your front fairing, 2 speakers, your amplifier mounting plate, your amplifier, that's gonna be a 400 watt amplifier, the MX400.4, capable of running, be honest with you, up to 8 speakers if you wanted to. Great amplifier, your wiring harness, everything that you're gonna need. And then we're also gonna do our bag lid kit. We're gonna do the MXHD14 lid kit. This is gonna be an RGB lit speaker, 6x9 speaker, cut-in lid kit. Definitely a killer product, great performing, sounds great, looks great, all plug and play. Stay tuned, we're gonna dive right into this installation. We're gonna show you everything we've got going into this bike, and then we're gonna hit that installation. We're gonna do a 4-speaker kit in here, 4-speaker system using our rear bag lids, using our front speakers. I'm gonna go through some of the parts and pieces and everything that come in this kit. Let's talk about the MXAHD14LIDKIT, what comes in that. First and foremost, you're gonna get your amp mounting plates. Depending if you got a Road Glide or a Street Glide, will determine whether or not you're gonna use this plate and this plate or just this plate on its own for the amplifier mounting plates. Then of course, we're gonna go into the wiring harness. You're gonna have everything you need in here, even the terminal ends, the ring terminals are crimped on, WeatherTech wire loom on here, definitely high quality wire loom. And then also too, we use these crossover networks here. There's gonna be one for the front, one for the rear, so you don't need to flash your bike. So when you go ahead and run your wires, keep in mind you're not going to have to flash your bike. There's a lot of kits out there where you do have to get your bike flashed once the system is done, otherwise it won't properly function properly, and things might happen in regards to speaker failure. So with these crossovers that our engineers have developed, this allows us to put the system in your bike without having it flashed. Don't get me wrong, you can still go and get your bike flashed if you want to, but this does eliminate that process. So you have your wiring harness, everything that you're gonna need in the wiring harness. And then of course you're gonna have your amplifier. This is gonna be the MX400.4 amplifier. This is a 400 watt amplifier, 100 watts to each channel. This will run your front speakers and your back bag lid speakers. Now, I do want to throw this out there. If you're a guy that really wants big sound, you've got a tour pack, you want to do lowers, this is a 2 ohm stable amplifier, so you can go ahead and run up to 8 speakers on this amplifier. Now, if you're also one of those guys that wants big sound, big power, you can also step up to the Big Brother amplifier. This is a completely sold separate amplifier, so this would be a modification that you would do to add this amplifier into your system, but you could double your power going to the MX800.4, as the amplifier plate was designed to fit this amplifier. So we do give you a lot of options when doing your installation. In this install, we're gonna use the MX400.4. Then you're gonna have your front speakers. This is a really, really nice 6.5-inch driver, neodymium magnet, high performing speaker, definitely gonna give you great sound quality. You're gonna hear these speakers. They're definitely crisp and clear. These are gonna be the 6.5-inch speakers. Depending on what year, make, and model bike that you have in the Harley Davidson lineup, of course, we got all the different grills. To make sure that we have everything that you're gonna need when installing these speakers as well. And that's pretty much gonna be everything that's gonna come in that kit for the front fairing. Then of course we're gonna have the back bag lid speakers. the bag lid kit. This is gonna come with your trim plate that you're gonna need to cut out. This is also gonna come with the back plate protector to go on the back of the speaker once you get it installed. So when you're cramming all your stuff into your speaker bags, you're not gonna mar anything on the magnets, things of that nature. That comes with the speaker as well. We do a dual tweeter design. We call this our tweeter bridge. One tweeter is gonna be firing towards the driver. The other tweeter fires towards the passenger. Really, really great performing speaker. Very, very loud again. The sensitivity on these speakers is extremely high. 92 dB is the sensitivity. This is going to be an RGB lit speaker. We're one of the only companies out there right now that have an RGB solution for the bag lids. Again, you will have all your connections, everything you need, all watertight, designed for the outdoors, the elements. And then, of course, our bag lid cutout, or our cut-in, which is gonna be the clamshell design. This piece here, once you cut your bag, this will come in from the bottom, and then this piece will come in from the top. But before you can install these speakers, let's talk about cutting in that bag lid. We make it really, really super easy. We have this template here that what you're gonna do is you're gonna place it on the bag lid, make sure it is fit down properly on the bag. You want to tape around it with painter's tape to make sure you don't mar anything before you set this down. You definitely want to make sure you're protecting the finish. You're going to use the supplied screws and you're going to screw this to the top of your bag lid. Once you have this in place, you're going to use your Dremel, your jigsaw, whatever tool that you're comfortable with cutting out this pattern right here. You're going to cut this out and drill, but before you cut it out, drill these holes, these pilot holes, so you have a way to put your blade down in there. You will cut this out and then go ahead and get it ready to put your speakers in. Once you've cut this template out, you will be ready to test fit your clamshell to make sure it properly fits on the bag lid itself. Once it's properly fit on there, everything is seated properly, then you will go ahead and install this on your bag. Again, this will come in from the top, this will come in from the bottom, this will be the clamshell, which is going to be a tight, watertight clamshell design. Then your speaker will come in from the back side. Once you get all that mounted, everything all put together, then of course you're going to run your wires from the bag lids to the front. We have these grommets here, and we put these grommets here so when you decide that you want to take your bags off the bike, what you're gonna do is you're gonna disconnect your wires that you're gonna have connected to the bag lids right here to your speakers. Disconnect those. This side stays in the bag. You're just gonna pop this through. Now you've disconnected from your wiring harness and you have the ability to take the bags off so you can service your bike as needed. Stick with us, we're gonna dive right into this install.
Please take a look at the list of tools needed for this installation to make sure that you have all the proper tools needed to successfully install your Memphis audio kit.
Once you have the seat removed, next step is going to be to disconnect the battery and then go ahead and remove the tank. First, you're gonna need to go ahead and disconnect the fuel line. Disconnect the hose, then you will go ahead and disconnect the wiring harness. We have the cover removed. As you can see, there will be a total of 4 bolts, one on the right side, one on the left, and then the 2 bolts that are back here on the rear. Go ahead and remove the tank. Now, as you can see, we have complete access to the center section of the bike, so we can properly run our cables to the battery as well as the rear speaker leads. Remove the plastic cover to gain access to the wiring channel to where you can go ahead and run your power wire down the center of the bike. Make sure that you properly run your wire so it is not going to be pinched in any way, shape, or form. And of course, so you're not running your wires by any parts that will put out any type of heat whatsoever. Now that the wiring is all run and you've got the center tray put back together, go ahead and put your gas tank on, being very, very careful not to pinch any wires and scratch any parts on the bike. Then go ahead and reconnect your hose and the electrical connections that go up to the gas tank itself. Number one mistake that everybody seems to forget when the bike doesn't start is because you forgot to reconnect your fuel line. Now it's time to remove the bags from the bike. As you can tell, we already have our bag lid kits cut in. You will have two clips that you notice that were taken off to remove the bag. Then also, you can go ahead and remove the side panels to gain access to that lower portion for running your speaker wires. When running your wires back to the rear speaker bags, again, make sure they are not run by any parts that will radiate any heat or any moving parts that will bind up or catch those cables. Now we're gonna go ahead and drill our hole so we can run our rear bag lid wires. You're gonna go ahead and mark 1.5 inches down from the front bag mounting holes, and you're gonna drill a 3/4 inch hole. We prefer using a uni bit, and you're gonna go ahead and, like I said, drill down to 3/4 of an inch. Wire management is very key, so once you run your wires through the bags and you connect to the speakers, then you will use the self-adhesive tabs and the zip ties to make sure you zip tie them to the inside walls of the bags themselves. Once you have your amplifier mounting plate installed, go ahead and mount the amplifier on top of the plate and go ahead and connect all the connections from all the wires that you just ran from the front of the bike to the back of the bike, including the power wire, and then also your inputs, your outputs, your speaker wires, RGB cables, all those will get wired up. And then of course, the last thing that you'll wire up is going to be the accessory wire, which will turn the amplifier on. This is going to be located on the clutch side of the bike. On the lower portion of the speaker enclosure, you will be able to find the blue wire / accessory wire on that side where you will be able to tap into. Once we have this process all completed, then we will go ahead and go in here, turn the bike on, and then tune our amplifier to where it needs to be tuned. Now in this installation, we're going to go ahead and use our RGB controller. That's going to be the MXHD14LIDKIT. When setting up your amplifier, go ahead and set the gain control, the sensitivity, to half. Also go ahead and select your frequencies to high pass on both the front and the back half of the amplifier. And then also go ahead on this system here, we're running this amplifier in a 2-channel mode, running the 4 speakers. Well, there you have it, folks. This is an install that we did. It's on a 2014 Street Glide. Of course, this kit will fit a 2014 Street Glide on up to current, as well as a 2015 Road Glide up to current year. A nice kit that we did. This is our bag lid kit that we did the install on. This is the MXHD14LIDKIT kit. Definitely a really, really nice installation. Sounds really, really good. Came with everything that you needed to do the installation. Of course, we definitely married that up with, of course, the MXHD14LIDKIT which is going to be the front fairing speakers, your amplifier mounting plate, pretty much basically everything that you're going to need for this installation. And of course, on this bike as well, there's no need to flash the bike. You can flash it if you want and take out our crossover network. But if you don't want to flash the bike, there's absolutely no need to flash the bike. This is definitely a great sounding system with the products that come in the kit. And again, everything that you need to do the installation on this bike was in the kit. As you can see here, everything from your plug and play wiring harness, your amplifier mounting plate, your 6.5-inch speakers, your bag lid kit, again, everything you need. This was just a slick installation. Of course, RGB lit speakers. We did utilize a RGB controller that Memphis offers. You can either hardwire it, which is the way it comes with the kit, so you can just get one color, or you can use our RGB controller and go ahead and purchase that separately, add it to the kit to give you the ability to add more colors as well as more effects. So there you have it, man. Great install on this Harley Davidson, and man, we hope to see you out on the road.